Hey guys, I'm back for the last installment on the cell membranes, and we're going to be talking about a movement across the cell membrane that is not water. Now, in this one, we're going to be talking about simple diffusion. Now, simple diffusion is whenever you start out in an area of high concentration, such as down here, they were in an area of high concentration, and they move out to an area low until they become balanced. You can look over here in this example of the water. These water molecules are the blue ones. They're moving from right to left until they become balanced. Now the green dots are unable to move because they're unable to move across the membrane. Okay. Now simple diffusion is whenever anything moves from high to low, and it is what we call passive transport. The way I always consider passive requires no energy. If you were passively studying for the test, you would lay a biology book underneath your head when you went to sleep at night and hope that it would move from an area of high concentration in the biology book to a low concentration, well, we don't want to say where, into your head. But passive studying doesn't work. Passive transport does work, however, but they require both the same energy. Now, there is a type of passive transport or passive diffusion called facilitated diffusion, in which things move from area of high to low, but they need something to get across that plasma membrane because the plasma membrane has those hydrophobic and hydrophilic regions. And this is called facilitated diffusion. Anytime you see facilitated, that means it has help, and that also requires no energy. The next one is active diffusion. Active diffusion, anytime you are something active, you need ATP, you need energy. So active transport is going to be moving against the concentration gradient. You're going to be going uphill more or less, and it's going to be moving from an area of low to high. Now, let me just explain active transport just a minute for you. Active transport would be like this. If we had a mountain and you were at the bottom of the mountain and I asked you to roll up the hill, this is going from an area of low to high. So if we do it to concentrations, it'd be go from an area of low concentration to high concentration. And that going up the hill is going to require you to use ATP or energy. Now, that is what active transport is. It's the way a lot of things move. Now, down here I've got two different examples of active transport. One is called antiport, in which molecules move to opposite sides of the cell simultaneously, such as these red and these yellow molecules here, which are sodium and amino acid. And the other one is symport, in which things move together. Different molecules like amino acid and sodium move together from one side to the next. That is an example of active transport. Now, if you look in both of them, there's more yellow on the left than there is on the right. Yellow's moving against the gradient. There is more red on the left than there is on the right. Red's moving against the gradient. That's active. Same thing over here. There's more boxes on the right, so it's moving against. At the same time, the yellow one is actually moving by diffusion, right? Because it's moving from a high concentration to a low concentration. So that's symport. All right. Now, getting through the cell membrane. Let's look at passive transport and active. And I didn't give you the drawing of passive, so let me give you the drawing of passive. If I was on that same hill and I was standing up and I rolled down the hill, that would be going from area of high to low. That would require no ATP or no energy. So it's going downhill. This would be like non-polar organisms, or by using polar organisms could go by using facilitated transport, going by a protein channel. The other one is active. It's going against the concentration gradient, and it's going to require some kind of protein pump, and it's going to need ATP. All right, so here's the different examples. Simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion are both passive types of transport, and the one where it moves across the protein pump requires ATP is active. So what do we do about large molecules? Large molecules move back and forth either by endocytosis or exocytosis. And the way I think about endo means in, exo means out. So endocytosis is how something large gets into the cell. Exo is how something large gets out. There's three types of endocytosis. We're going to talk about each one of those. Phagocytosis is eating, pinocytosis is drinking, and receptor-mediated endocytosis is how it comes in with the help of something. So let's look at endocytosis first. As a cell brings in macromolecules to particulate matter by forming new vesicles. Now, there are three types. Phagocytosis is here. You can see how it comes in, whatever we're after comes in, and there's a vesicle forms around it. So it's moving from an area of low concentration to an area of high concentration through phagocytosis. All right. The next one is endocytosis. I might have said that one wrong just a minute ago. That was food. How food comes in was phagocytosis. Pinocytosis is how water comes in, and it does the same way. A piece of the membrane pinches off and brings in the particles. And the last one is receptor mediated, and this one is going to be very specific. In the picture down here, it actually has some type of protein or whatever that actually receives it, as you can tell here by the receptors, the white, so it's going to be mediated. See, it clings on here. So that's receptor mediated endocytosis. Now, I hope that helped you a little bit with transport, and I hope you have a wonderful day.